We're here outside. Let me see what's happening here. What's wrong? Yeah. It's not starting. Ouch. Is it do you have enough petrol?
Yeah.
What about the spark plug? You gotta check that first. Do you have a tool to take it out? No. No tool? Jason, do you have tools? Or I... can you take out the spark plug? No, it's hot, huh? Or not? Yeah, I have tool there. I think I have some tool. It's the spark.
Kasi kini part, dili nakuan siya part o naibot.
Maybe it got wet last night or this morning.
Ay, naibot-ibot na doon nadaan.
Anyway, they're trying to fix the motorbike here. It's a quiet day. It's Sunday. It's kind of quiet, guys. I'm gonna let them be for the moment. Do you need tools? Yes or no?
No.
You don't need? No? How are you gonna fix it, Mia? With your hands?
Yeah.
You're that clever. You're that good. You're a super girl, huh? You're a super girl. Or you're gonna let Jason do it, right? You're very clever. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go inside. It's let me turn this around again. It's oh, here comes Michael. Michael, say morning to the camera here. Michael has got a nice haircut here, huh? Wow, you look like Mike Tyson. Turn your head, man. Mike Tyson. Michael is an acrobat. You're gonna show us later your
Yeah.
acrobatic skills. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Michael used to work in a circus. Seriously, and he's the brother of Leah, my girlfriend. I'm going upstairs now. Yeah, so okay, nice, the fan is on here. I don't know, they gotta try and get that. It was a big storm last night, so maybe I think the spark plug got wet or the coil or whatever, you know. So they just have to work on that. So last night, well, this morning I was checking some, comments and stuff about my video. Philippines and Thailand comparison, you know. What I find, I mean, some dude said, oh, you know, for example, Winston Sterzel has 200,000 subscribers, you know, blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. Anyway, great. But the point, and then a lot of people are taking me on because they think, you know, Thailand is fucking heaven or China is so great because Winston says so or whatever, or they live there for a little while and they got a little girl, you know, doing the... And it's the first time in their lives probably, maybe, well, except if they themselves were used to give that shit, but now they're receiving it for the first time, right? Ever. So that's like, wow, that's fucking heavenly, right? There's a big fucking truck out there. I'm not gonna switch this around like last time. I don't want this camera to freeze up on me again. Freeze the fuck up. Okay, oh, there I'm swearing again, and it's Sunday, guys. Okay, anyway, so, you know, the world is, that's P.T. Barnum. I think he was just talking about circus. I think he was a circus owner or a newspaper owner. It's the same thing, circus or a newspaper. Anyway, he said, I think it was in the 1800s, right? He said a fool is born every second? I don't even remember. But anyway, the point is that there are a lot of sheep people out there. And they are just looking for leaders. They will follow. It's like moths circling a globe, electric bulb, and then they will circle and circle till they crash, till they burn, and then they crash, or crash and burn, or vice versa. Either way, they are going down. This multitude of dudes that you see in China, in Thailand, especially in Thailand, man. If you're the moth, you're just circling that light. And every single second you're coming closer and closer to the bitter end. The bitter end. If you're lucky, like I guess like the few you get out with more than your shirt on, right? You go into Thailand or in China full of confidence. You get that little BJ and you're like, wow, you feel like top of the heap. You know, you feel like a cock on its own little heap of manure, and you feel fucking bulletproof, invincible, right? And the girls there, you know, the Thai girls and the Chinese girls give due where due is due. They are really good at that. Because, you know, in reality, these girls, okay, another little secret, guys, they don't enjoy sex at all. Intercourse, let's just call it intercourse in the least. Okay, Chinese women, they are, if you look at surveys done, the least sexually active people in the world, I think Hong Kong is actually number 1 in the world. I mean, it's unbelievable. There is hardly any human interaction on a personal level. Then, you know, the Chinese are probably just as very shortly behind them. You know, I talk from experience here, okay? And then in Thailand, like I said before, Thailand is very, very similar to China. The culture, the women, the food, everything. Similar. So there's a reason why there's 20 million Chinese are flooding into Thailand. That's another reason not to go there. Do you want to drown in that yellow stream? I mean, we get a few Chinese here. Many of them settle down here because they really want to get the hell out of China, and they learn the local language here. Whenever I meet a Chinese here, they don't learn English. They learn Visayan, the local language. It's amazing. I mean, they put me to shame, you know. Biddy. Okay, but so give due where due is due to those Chinese here. They are escaping. They want to get the fuck out of China. They're clever enough to realize they got to ingratiate themselves with the locals here, learn the language, ingratiate themselves, and they're fucking doing that. All due respect, okay? So for you guys out there who thinks that I just hate China, you know, off the cuff, man, I got a lot of Chinese friends, dudes, all over the fucking world. I get calls every single. I just had a message from China just now, okay, a minute ago. The dude sent me a video of his daughter. Yesterday, I gave her a name. He was begging me. No, not begging me. I mean, him and me, we are very long time friends. He's my best buddy in China. And he really wants me to come back there to help him out with his newest business. He's manufacturing electric vehicles. And he's had a new daughter. She's 1.5 years old. He just asked me to give her, yesterday I suggested a name for her. He's accepted it. You know, for naming is a very big thing in China, you know. It's not like in the West. I understand Chinese culture, you know. I mean, that's what pisses me off the most about Winston and Prozzie and sea milk. Prozzie, is it for prostitute? Sea milk, is that for what? Cock milk? The Prozzie and Winston want their sea milk? Okay. Some people say I have bad teeth. Yeah, maybe I should go and visit the dentist. I've been once because I took my girlfriend there. Anyway, she's half my age, by the way. She was, and her teeth were. Anyway, to get back on topic here, I'm fucking meandering all along the golden thread, or the silver, or I'm being sidetracked by silver threads all along my golden thread here. Where was I now? Oh yes, yeah. What pisses me off mostly about these fucking Three Stooges is that they actually, like I said, the iceberg. You know, these dudes. It's like somebody said on my channel just yesterday. He said, the shit that they talk about is shit that you will pick up within, if you don't realize, within the first 30 minutes, half hour, 30 minutes of arriving in China. You don't get 99% of the shit that they're trying to sell to you, snake oil, you know, oh, that is, we know what our deepest insights. It will take you 30 minutes to pick up all of that shit. I'm serious. You walk out of you walk through the border in Shenzhen or wherever you arrive, you walk out the fucking front door of that building, boom, you're right into it. Scammers, people spitting, shitting, loud, noisy, obnoxious, scammers trying to get you into black taxis, trying to scam you here and there and everywhere, fucking just in your face in the first few seconds, emerging from the passport control into China. You're gonna have that in the first few seconds. In the first minute, you're gonna see it all. 99% of what they are trying to hold up, oh, we have the special insight, blah blah blah. The stuff that they don't want to discuss, or because they cannot discuss it, is the real in-depth knowledge that somebody like me, the old China hand. I'm setting up my new channel, by the way, the old China hand, so that I can really share with you guys, you know, my experience over, what is it now, well, I went to Taiwan in 1990, so yeah, 27 years, going on 28. So anyway, so that I said, you guys can have real insights. What the fuck's going on? So you don't lose your life, you don't lose your limbs, you don't lose your health, you don't lose your fucking money and your sanity. Okay, these are all the things that you can lose very, very easily and very rapidly in places like Thailand, in places like China. It's quick, man. So. And these are the things that these guys don't address because they have no fucking clue. They are caught up in this whole maelstrom and then this whole vortex of bullshit, their own bullshit. And then everybody is like, oh, you guys got special knowledge, oh, let me suck it up. You know, it's... So, it's not... I'm not only making these videos for fun, I do enjoy it, exposing this crap, you know, this nonsense, but I'm doing it actually to educate you dudes, okay? I know there are not... There's the 1% and the 99%, right? Or probably, if you want to break it down a little bit more generously, you get to the 20%, 80%. That's at the most generous, okay? You're never going to get more better than 20-80. That's it. So you're starting with a 1% and you have the 99%, the stooges, the fucking morons, the idiots, you know, doing this. And then hopefully you'll probably get around 20% of those stooges, you know, to open their eyes. Usually through you know, after people butt their head against the wall long enough and hard enough, they may, before they fucking knock themselves out, some of them will open their eyes. But 80% of them will never ever see the truth. They will go down 6 feet or go down bankrupt or whatever, right? Or lose their health or lose their sanity. I've seen a lot of guys, man, going fucking really seriously gaga. They just lose it totally. And then there's a spiral, you know, you hit the spiral. Next thing is the drugs. You lose your mind because you can't accept it. I was wrong. This beautiful girl was doing this to me now. She's a fucking vampire. She's a witch. I have fallen through for all her evil charms. And that's the hardest thing for a man to accept, dude. I'm going to give you so many examples. Oh, it breaks you down as a man to have to admit to yourself, I was wrong. People will do anything but to admit that they were wrong, right? They will do fucking anything. People kill. People will commit any fucking atrocity but never admit. And the Chinese are the worst. But foreigners the same. They don't want to admit their whole fucking dream, their whole China dream was a wet dream, right? They don't want to admit that shit. So, you know, the iceberg. Remember the iceberg, guys. These dudes are giving you the little picture of the iceberg that you're going to see in the first 30. If you don't catch all of that shit in the first 30 minutes, then you are blind, dumb, stupid, inbred, fucking moron, okay? And you deserve what you're going to get. And you're going to get it. You are going to get it. I'm telling you right now. And my toes curl like this when I think about that. Because a lot of guys, these guys insulting me right now, they're going to get it, you know? But anyway, so, yeah. I mean, you know, people make out that they are, oh, they got 200,000 subs, you know, oh, they're big shots, you know, oh, you know, like, I mean, for God's sakes, you know, if Winston was Titanic, let's say he was the ship Titanic, the unsinkable ship, he would be sunk by a fucking ice cube. That is how insignificant he is in my mind. He's like a cockroach. I mean, you see a cockroach over there, and you're like, I don't want to step on it, right? Because you're, you know, maybe you're wearing, you know, you're wearing knockoff shoes, but still, you don't want to fucking sit down and you know, wipe off cockroach remains of your fucking shoe. But at the same time, you're gonna say, hey, watch out to your girlfriend or whoever. Hey, don't step on that fucking big ugly cockroach over there, right? That's my attitude, okay, towards these dudes. So I just want to explain this to you guys, okay? And then it's like, oh, you got a small YouTube channel, you're trying to... What the fuck? Fuck off. I started you know, I was so fucking dumb. And then here I admit it. I am not tech savvy in the fucking least. I was born in the Orange Free State, in Kroonstad, in, you know, many years ago. And, you know, I was born, my father was a policeman, my mother, you know, was not an educated woman, and all of that stuff. And I grew up hard. I think pretty fucking hard. But it was good. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying there were no fucking luxuries, okay? Everything I have, every fucking single thing, I worked for it. I never got any freebies from my dad, my mom, from anybody, my family, from any fucking body. No freebies, okay? And I never asked. I was like I remember very clearly, I was 6 years old. No, seven. We just arrived. My father was, that time he was being sent around because, you know, he tried to work himself up, but by virtue of being posted around. So in 1 year I went to 4 different schools, to give you an example of the extent of our travels. And we arrived at this brand new place, we were in this house, huge old fucking house, built out of stone there in a small town in the Free State, Orange Free State, called Pietersburg. It's between Bloemfontein and Kimberley, in a nondescript town. Anyway, we lived on the outskirts by the rail. My father has, at that time, changed to the railroad. So we literally lived on the wrong side of the tracks. And all my, like I told you guys before, all my friends were the farm boys, the black boys, you know, and I didn't have white friends. I had only one guy. He's still my friend up to this day. Dirkie. Hey, Dirk. Hoe gaan het daar in die Vrystaat, my maat? Ek hoop jy kyk hier so, man. Anyway, so we arrived there and I took a little walk through the town, and there was only like one shop. They were selling toys, you know, and then I saw a bow and arrow because we were living right on the veld, the savannah, you know, of Africa, and then there were a lot of animals around, and I was very keen to hunt. And I asked my father to buy me this bow, and I was planning to make my own arrows, you know, sharp-tipped arrows. And then he said, okay, how much is it, you know? And it was actually 1 rand. So 1 rand at that time was probably the equivalent of, I think, like 50 cents US, or maybe $1 US or something. No, maybe it was $1 US. So like, basically I asked him for $1. And then he said to me, okay, son, come here. And he took me outside, and we had this huge yard. He said, okay, the grass, the weeds were growing like knee-high, you know, and because we just moved in there, he said, okay, here's a spade, start to clean up here. So I was, you know, weeding with this shovel, you know, and with this spade, and it took me about 2 weeks, I think. Fucking, my hands were calloused. I mean, first was bleeding, and I started to get callous. I still have calluses, not from wanking, by the way, from hard work. But anyway, so after 2 weeks I told him, okay, I'm done. And he looked around, he said, okay, well done. He said, yeah, this is called a rake. Now I want you to rake up this whole yard, which is about the size of half a football pitch. So it took me about a week to rake it all up, because I worked after school, right, in the hot sun. And then I said, okay, I'm done. And he's like, okay, now here's a shovel. I want you to dig a fucking deep hole, like about over your head, basically. And then we're gonna put all this whole heap, because like a little mountain there of weeds. We're gonna put it all in the hole, and then we're gonna make a bonfire. So all of this took me about a month, and the yard was spanking, you know, clean. And he gave me the rand. He said, okay, here's your rand. But in the meantime, what happened was, like, we had 2 neighboring houses, of course. We were in the middle, and then these were kind of a little bit higher, socially higher up on the ladder. The foreman and the station foreman and his senior or whatever. So they saw me working out in the sun day by day by day, and they were like, hey, oh, you're a hardworking little kid, you know, do you have a little bit of free time on a Saturday or whatever? Just, I need you to just do a little bit of weeding or cleaning or whatever, you know. And I was like, okay, why not? And then I went over there, I jumped over the fence and did a bit of cleaning. It took me an hour or 2, and then they were like, hey, here's 5 rand. And I was like, phew, 5 rand, you know. And then the other guy gave me 5. So I had like 10 rand by the end of the month, actually. I could have bought the bow already, but I promised my dad. So he gave me the 1 rand after a fucking month of hard labor. And I said to him, okay, thank you. And I said to him, you know what? I will not work for you again. And I never did for my father. It's not worthwhile. I learned a very good lesson there at the age of 7. So I never ever asked him for anything. I always fucking worked. I helped the farmers. I herd the cattle, the horses, you know, everything. And, you know, I did all that shit, chopping wood, hunting. I was hunting every day. You know, whatever animals we could, you know, get, we would, you know, just make a little fire and eat it. It was good. You know, or I gave it to my black friend, my best friend Tabiso Koloti. He was a great dude. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make here is that everything I've owned, or I'm owning right now, is because of my own efforts, okay? And oh yes, and then I couldn't figure out, fucking hell, what, you know, we never had TV. I watched TV the first time in my life was 1976, rugby. I was, well, I don't want to divulge, but I was more than 10 years old at the time, and we, you know, so technologically I'm kind of challenged a little bit. Okay, so I didn't realize that on YouTube you actually could monetize. That's the point I'm trying to make here. And to make a long story short, I only realized that last week. And I turned on the monetization tab or whatever you call it, and now I've made $12 in 1 week out of this. I don't know, this advertising, these pop-ups. Actually, I realized, guys, that, you know, actually, you know, when I start paying attention to these advertisements, and because now I realize, oh, if people click on these advertisements, you know, then you probably can earn a few cents or whatever. I don't know how it works, but and then I started clicking on advertisement just to see what this shit is all about, and I was kind of surprised. You know, I realized that on YouTube, these advertisers are much more intelligent. It's not like they need a fucking hammer to hit you over the head like on TV or on newspapers. They can actually do it much more intelligently, and they can actually give you real information. So I've been watching a few of these advertisements, and I'm quite impressed, to be honest. Of course, I'm not gonna fucking click on, you know, Jollibee and KFC and fucking all this crap, you know. But I mean, there's some really good ones out there, guys. So if you have, just tolerate that for our sake, because hey, we still have to fucking. I want to try and cooperate with some of you guys out there. You guys already know who you are, but I'm serious. I'm going to make a proposal here because I really want to build things up, and I have a dream. Okay, and my dream is, I know it sounds crazy, but I really want to. Okay, all changes should start inside yourself, right? So you know you got to start there. You can't escape that. And then from there, you got to move out into your, you know, your immediate vicinity, and then into the world. You know, we got to. If we don't save the world, nobody's gonna save the world. You know, and we are fucking spiraling down, just like, you know, this is a fact. You know, I mean, we are not in a good place right now, and we got to. I'm gonna make a video about survival because that's something I consider myself to be an expert in. So guys, just watch out for that stuff, okay? And well, I know I'm just rambling now. Okay, so. Yeah, it's Sunday. I'm gonna go in now, and it's gonna start raining again soon. Last night was a heavy storm here. We had no electricity, so I probably have to charge this. My ass. Ugh. Fucking sofa here. It's a good sofa. It's a handmade sofa. Everything we make here. You see this chair? It's made out of bamboo. We try to make everything by hand. So yeah.